Welcome to another edition of the Culture Show. I'm here with my co-host Shay. A lot going on in the world. We got some stuff going on in the world of sports. We talked about this on the Fan Cave with Cousin Brad, but we're going to talk about it here on the Culture Show because it got a lot to do with these diaspora wars that we've been talking about, sister. Breaking news again. Your homegirl, Sha'carri Richardson.
Yes.
She done made it in the news again. Just to give a little background for those who didn't know what was going on, there's been a lot of back and forth since Sha'carri Richardson was not allowed to compete in the Olympics due to testing positive for marijuana. She admitted to doing so. She owned it. And, you know, Shay, I was a big supporter. I was a big supporter of let her run. And I was screaming, let Sha'carri run, because I just felt like this was our chance to win something again. And she got her opportunity in the Diamond League to compete against these three Jamaicans who swept the entire Olympics. Now, this was her opportunity to come out and show out. Now, she did two commercials. She did one with the Beats by Dre, another one with Nike. And then she did another Instagram video.
I took I took some time off to rest, and now it's game time. You have no idea.
To the other sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she came out there real cocky, Shay. Real cocky. And we know the end result where she got smoked.
Yes.
She got smoked. You know what I mean? Like, she was 9th place, guys. Last place. Mm-hmm. So, Shay, before I ask you, here's my issue here. First thing I was saying, and then you listen to the interview, very arrogant interview after. What are your thoughts on, you know, her comments after the meet?
I feel like her comments were really inappropriate. They did lack humility in even the basic form. You know what I mean? You can't really be out here saying I'm the fastest, bring it on. And then when you get there, you're in literally last place. And then instead of humbling yourself a little bit to say, you know what, I came out, I tried, there's, always next time. I'm going to get back in, I'm going to train, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to try to get it and improve. She didn't do that. She came out in a sort of defensive way where she was almost attacking the other athletes and shifting the blame at the same time. Yeah. I was with you on that though. Like I was definitely, team let Sha'carri run. The girl lost her mother. She found out she lost her mother during the qualification.
Yep.
The qualification runs.
She found out from a reporter.
Yeah, from a reporter at that, not even a family member. Can you imagine how devastating that is psychologically? And depending on how close she was with her mother, which I assume very close, considering, she decided that she wanted to smoke marijuana. I was definitely for it because, she's young. How do you process that at any age if you're close with that parent? You know what I mean?
21 years old.
Yeah, mentally, you're still developing.
Right.
So, at some point you can blame her age for the lack of humility and the lack of, but the immaturity that comes with her. But at some point, I feel like your professionalism as an athlete should take over. But she's definitely not media trained, and she needs a publicist bad, like a good PR person.
Yeah. And if you listen to the other sisters after the interview, they basically, they just kind of like pushed it to the side when they were asked about what Sha'carri was saying. They just was like, we wasn't worried about that. They remain focused. And you seen it in them sisters' eyes before the race. You can look at Shelly Ann, and then you can look at Elaine Thompson-Herah, and they was focused. This was not the Olympics, Shay.
Right.
This was just another meet in Jamaica, but it did mean something to them because there was so much talk that you guys beat everybody, but you didn't beat her. So the invitation was extended. Sha'carri got her chance. She got smoked.
She got
smoked. So then we go to what's happening recently. Now, there's been a whole bunch of stuff happening with Nicki Minaj versus Sha'carri. There's been some stuff with Safari versus Sha'carri. A lot of Jamaicans have been trolling all over Sha'carri's page on Instagram, saying all types of things. Humble yourself, be humble, stay in your lane. You're not ready, but mostly humble herself. And I'm all with it. And this started a whole nother wave of this diaspora stuff that me and you hate so much.
Right.
It started this Jamaican women versus black women. We not about to go there. We not about to do this, because at the end of the day, it ain't like she lost to anybody other than the black women. All I've been hearing certain sisters who are Sha'carri fans saying, people love to hate on the black woman. That's not the case here. She lost to 8 other black
women, right?
So don't try that. That ain't got nothing to do with what happened. What it had to do with was her arrogance, the things she was saying about him, and she don't get no less criticism than what LeBron gets, than what Jordan gets. Mm-hmm. This is sports. This is, you're an athlete. When you talk that talk and you don't back it up, it's going to come with some consequences.
Absolutely. Again, like you just said, in any sport, right? Talking that talk has become part of the job of being a professional athlete, right? Like you got Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson or Floyd Mayweather, Kobe Bryant, I'm the greatest of all time. Like, but can you prove it? Right? When it comes down to it, when you get to that point where you have to prove it, you have to be able to follow through.
Exactly.
You have to be able to lose graciously. You have to be able to win graciously.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Nothing but facts.
And that's just something that she lacks. And again, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt because she is 21. And I remember what I was like at 21. I'm not going to mention my age right now. I was kind of arrogant, young, thinking like, I'm the greatest of all time. It don't matter, and life has a way of putting obstacles in front of you to make you humble yourself. Exactly. And I believe that this was the first pit stop in a long running of pit stops that's going to make her humble herself. And I hope that she takes the time to learn how to humble herself. It's a learning process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. But I hope that she really takes this into consideration. And all the Sha'carri fans, like, I'm not throwing any shade on the girl. I support her fully. Just like I support the other Jamaican women that won the race fully. I support, if you're doing a great job and you doing what you're supposed to do and you out here making history and making us all look good, I support it. I don't care where you're from, right? But I wish that she could show that same kind of support to her other athletes, because even Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, when they lose, what do?
They shake hands. Yeah, they shake hands and show sportsmanship.
Yeah, I mean,
she just walked off after the race. She didn't even congratulate the winners.
Yeah, and that's not right. I mean, at least if you don't want to shake their hand, at least say, you know what, good job, nice race, and then walk off. Right. You have to be able to put on a mask, as they say, right?
Right.
Don't show people that you really are not happy at the fact that you lost.
Right.
Save that for behind the scenes. And then come back better.
Exactly. And that brings me to where we are today. On the Jimmy Kimmel Show, accomplished the most decorated track player, Olympian, Allyson Felix. She went on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. She spoke with Stephen A. Smith, and she mentioned how she fully supports. Let's have a listen to that, and we'll come right back and we'll talk about it really quick.
And neglecting to bring up, Sha'carri Richardson, you know that she's been through a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously being, pushed out of the Olympics because of marijuana use and what have you. In light of all of that that's been transpiring, all that she has gone through, what message would you like to say about her personally and about what she endured being an Olympian?
Yeah, I know that.
Supposed to be an Olympian.
Yeah, I know that she's obviously been through so much. And so I hope that she's just supported. I hope people rally around her. Obviously, she has a great personality and she's brought a lot of attention to the sport. And I think she'll be in the sport for a very long time. And so I think just more than anything, for all athletes, there's so much that goes into it. We just, give her the support that she needs.
I got you. Well, you just...
So, Shay, we listened to Allyson Felix and what she mentioned. And she mentioned that she's in full support. She needs support. She sounded sympathetic. She didn't say not one negative thing about Sha'carri. Sha'carri responded basically saying that that's fake. That's fake love. I don't need it. I need nothing of that. She tweeted it. Again, this is Sha'carri has not won a gold medal. This is one of the most decorated Olympians in U.S. history. And this is how you show her respect when she's saying there's a lot that's going into it when it comes to being in the Olympics. And Allyson Felix, she mentioned that she had to be in a dorm room, that she wasn't always treated so fairly in the Olympics. And she said there's a lot that goes into it for these women that us normal people don't know anything about.
Right.
So she clearly was empathetic with Sha'carri. What was Sha'carri's problem here?
I think Sha'carri's problem is exactly what it is, her own problem. She's looking for a way to shift blame and to get the spotlight off of her. That's my opinion on this. Based off of what I heard with the interview with Allyson versus, the comeback that Sha'carri did, that's fake love. Fake love or not, she's showing you sportsmanship. Even if it's a facade, it's still sportsmanship. You think every athletic athlete is going to sit up here and genuinely be happy for, the opposite team when they lose? No. But they're going to put on that face and say, congratulations, I support it, which is only right. That's sportsmanship,
Yeah.
I just, like I said, I really feel like it was an immature response on her end. And I feel to a certain extent that maybe her ego was hyped up so much that when she lost and that little ego bubble got popped, she really just did not know how to handle it.
Yeah, you know what, Shay? There's also some things that I forgot to mention. After the Jamaicans swept everybody in the Olympics, Sha'carri quickly tweeted, "Y'all miss me yet?" You know what I'm saying? Now, this is kind of like disrespect to your other U.S. teammates. Okay? Your teammates and the other Olympians that were racing, you showed no respect for them, basically saying, if I was there, this wouldn't have happened like this.
Right.
It wouldn't have been no sweep. I would at least came in second, third, maybe even first place, is what she was talking. Now you have someone who's a proven gold medalist. Let's get this clear for everybody. Sha'carri has not won a gold medal yet because she has never competed in the Olympics yet. So let's get this very clear. She hasn't won anything yet. But she was locked in as the 6th fastest woman ever for her time. So she was really looked at like this is going to be the next person for the U.S. that's going to slay the 100-meter. So they gave her that chance. She flopped. And now you have a clear gold medalist supporting you. And you dog her out? Like, if I'm somebody like Serena Williams, if I'm a LeBron James, if I'm anybody that can mentor this young girl, why would I reach out now that you just dogged one of the best Olympians in U.S. history? Why would I reach out? For what? If you're doing that to her, who showed you support on a TV show, which she didn't have to,
right?
What would you do to me if I just reached out in your DM and say, hey, listen, I want to be behind you, to help you push you forward. You know, I've been through what you've been through. Let me help you with media training. Let me help you with this. Let me help you with that. Is she pushing all that away? Like, I think she's pushing all of that away. And I think she's looking at everyone else when the real problem is the person in the mirror.
Exactly. You know, like I keep saying it's really an immature thing, but you know, maybe it's also you're trying to prove something like to your mom, right? And you got disappointed because you couldn't follow through. And this is your way of, you know, kind of throwing a temper tantrum a little bit. You know what I mean? When a child disappoints their parent, they feel really bad. Like, I promised my mom I was going to do it. She couldn't see it. You know, I want to do this for my mom. And it didn't happen. Right. So we have to somewhat take that into consideration as well. Like, she really had a tough few months. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, her inflated ego does not help.
Mm-hmm. And you know, Sha'carri, we on the Kulture Show, we support you. We've been supporting you. We want to see you get the help that you need. We understand you're going through a real tough time in your life, you know, and you know, this is not about, you know, dogging a black woman. This is not about diaspora wars, because we ain't into that on the Kulture Show. Nope. We want to see our women succeed no matter where they are in the world. Mm-hmm. The bottom line is, when you talk that talk, you gotta back it up. It ain't got nothing to do with black women being hated on. It's got to do with you backing up what you talk. At least if she would have came in third or second or fourth or fifth or even sixth, would have been like, all right, well, you know, she had a month off. She might not have been fully ready, you know. But I'm gonna tell you something from my observation, Shay. And Sha'carri is a bit slow off the track now. She's a bit slow off the track. And when I watched her, even the one that she won, the ones that she has won, towards the middle of the meet is when she picks up. She gets like a second win, and it's really fast, right? But against these Jamaican sisters, they go full speed all the way through. And then they get like a second nuclear win. Right. That you ain't touching if they even notice that you're close to them. So she's going to have to get off them tracks a little faster. And she's going to have to learn how to like go full speed all that whole 100 meters, because these girls ain't playing no games if you ever going to compete with them. Right. But you got to study. Michael Jordan studied his opponents. Kobe Bryant studied his opponents. LeBron James studies his opponent. You got to study, sister. So just take that and don't think that the world is against you. It's just welcome to the world of sports, youngster.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct about that. You know, it's like the art of war, right? How do you win in the art of war? You need to know your opponent.
Exactly.
Right? Chess, checkers. If you are against an opponent, you have to know your opponent before you know how to take them down. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How do I make my strengths better than their strengths and take advantage of their weaknesses? Mm-hmm. You know? So say, for example, like you said, they're flying straight off the track, right? And then about halfway, they get a second nuclear win that just makes them go like super fast, right? Well, how do I get up to that level and pass it? You know, take the time to look at each individual track athlete, right? Even if you got to watch their training videos or whatever, or their performances 60,000 times. I promise you'll find something. And then tweak your own regimen to make yourself look better, or to not even make yourself look better, but to improve yourself, because it's possible. You can always push yourself to be better.
Yeah. It's a tough thing though, sometimes with track, because it's not like wrestling. It's not like boxing where, okay, he's stronger than me. I just got to be faster than him. Or football, he's a bigger man. If I go down low, I can put him down. Mm-hmm. This is talent to talent. You know what I'm saying? And that Elaine Thompson, hoorah, she is literally 0.5 of a second from FloJo's record. 0.5 of a second, like that close. So we also got to celebrate her on the Kulture Show, because at the end of the day, she's the winner. She's the fastest woman in the world, period. Hands down. It's over. Ain't nobody better than her. She done did it in the Olympics. She did it in the Jamaican Diamonds League. She is continuing to prove that she is the best in the world. So let's celebrate her too. You know, she may not have the following that Sha'carri has, but she is a beast, and she's classy too. So that's what I like about that sister Elaine Thompson. Hurrah. Shout out to her. And Sally Ann Frazier, who is Jamaica's original champion. I think she's a 5-time gold medalist. And again, that's what I say about Sha'carri. You ain't talking to women that's not accomplished.
Right.
These women are accomplished gold medalists. Got to be careful who you be talking to now.
You really do. And be prepared for the backlash. You know, a lot of the times what I've noticed with the younger generation is that they can do this, but they can't take the backlash from it.
They sure can.
You know, it's not like when we were growing up where we could do this and we could also receive the backlash. And it really didn't affect us the way that it affects the new generation, you know?
Yeah.
We get the backlash, you know, we'll come back with something else. Right. But it seems like the new generation kind of shuts down, or they try to redirect and try to put the blame on to someone else or something else. Yeah. So the only advice that I can give for Sha'carri, you know, again, I fully support you, sister. You know, just like I support the ladies on the Jamaican team. I'm very proud of the fact that we as melanated sisters were able to come and conquer. I don't care where you're from.
Dominate the sport.
Right. You conquered, you dominated, you just blew everybody out the water. And you didn't even break a sweat. Right? Yeah. But for Sha'carri, just, you know, humble yourself and, girl, work harder. Like, come back with it. Show them, like, you know what? I had an off day.
At the end of the day, Sha'carri, we love you here in the United States. I'm sure all over the world, you know, we all were here for you.
Yeah.
We want to see you progress. We know you've been through a lot this year. Learn a lesson from this. You know, the media will destroy you when you put certain things. If you give them the tools to destroy you, they will destroy you. And now we in this social media era where anybody can post something about you.
Yes.
So you got to be real careful of that. That'll do it for today on the Kulture Show. We want to send a shout out to the whole entire IBP team. We want to make sure you guys tune in for the Fan Cave Sports Talk, as well as the Underground Lounge. And of course, like every week, me and Shay will be here on the Kulture Show every Sunday, 6 p.m. So make sure y'all watch out for that. More shows coming soon. The Journey Begins, International Book Club with Rituja, coming soon on IBP Media. Shout out to everybody out there. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.